let me invite on stage another important person, the Consul General, who's going to present Patrik with a medal. Please, Miroslav Kameš.
Good afternoon, and let me place only one short remark. The Jan Masaryk medal is awarded by Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic to people who have made a significant role, significant contribution to the good name, good reputation of Czech Republic in countries abroad. Patrik Eliáš is a phenomenon of Czech sport, Czech ice hockey, devoted man, and I think that he undoubtedly deserves such award. And it's for me a good opportunity to give you award, Jan Masaryk medal.
How many of you guys have ever watched Patrik play, either live or on TV? Very nice. So, before we get to the origins, before we get to the journey, let's start with yesterday. Yesterday was obviously one of the biggest days, so how did you enjoy it? I know you brought your whole family and friends, so how was it?
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me here. This is a great honor for me to be among you. I might be a little tired from yesterday, but it was a long day, long night. But I'm truly happy to be here. My parents came with me for this weekend. They flew here for a few days to experience the whole thing that was happening yesterday, which is the highest honor that any athlete, especially in hockey, can wish for with one organization. And it was a long process to get to that. 18 years plus years in the National Hockey League, and I was lucky to spend the whole time in one team, one organization. That's the New Jersey Devils, and it's very rewarding for anybody. You know, it's not only athletes, it's not only artists. It's just any person. If you do your job and you do it the best way you can, and at the end of the day you get rewarded for that. That's all you can wish for. I think in life you're gonna come across with people that do believe in you and people that don't, and you gotta take the positive out of all of it. You know, when everybody's trying to push you and you feel good about yourself, that helps you obviously tremendously. And when you have people that they're the opposite, they don't give you the confidence, you gotta find it within yourself. And obviously, there were a couple occasions when I was growing up that people told me, you're not gonna make it anywhere. Look at yourself. You're the littlest guy on the team. You're the smallest guy on the team. But I took it obviously a different way, approached it a different way, and tried to use my smarts, and that eventually worked out. And everything that they kind of told me that might be my deficit. I got 18 years old, and everything kind of came together. I grew pretty quickly. I gained all the weight that I had to, but I had my smarts, and eventually it worked out pretty well. And especially in your young years, when you're growing up, when you're coming into the league, if you don't have the good role models, it's like with anything. You know, kids are looking up to their parents. If they're not good role models for them, they're not gonna grow up the way you wanted them maybe. And it's the same thing with hockey. I was lucky when I came here. I had the great coaches, some of the great players, and they really took me under their wing and showed me what it's all about to be a professional, what it means to be a Devil, because the Devil organization really put their logo up front before the name on the back, which everybody stood by, and you learn that pretty quickly. And sometimes you it's very difficult to put together a good team when you have 23 different personalities. But we had a manager that was very strict, and everybody that was on our town bought into the system and followed the rules that we had to. So it was pretty easy for Yankee to do the same, although sometimes I thought maybe, yeah, I'm not going to do that, I don't like this. But all the guys made sure that, you know, I was doing the right thing. So I was brought up that way and playing with a couple of the Hall of Famers, and I was very lucky because they really showed me what it's all about. And when I got to that point, got older, and I think the time changed, the situation changed. I know how to maybe treat the young guys, and I knew how to talk to them and give them something back that hopefully can help their careers.
I like what you're saying, but at the same time I have to say that you're very humble, because there are many people, and I mean you know it, but there are many people or many Czech players that have won the Stanley Cup, but there are not that many people that were actually at the core of the teams with which they won the cup, and you did that. And then going a little bit. And then still keeping the legacy and the loyalty to the Devils. And you've been talking about it, and when you mentioned the Cups, you said that they're great, but they're still below the level. The points, great, but also below that. Let's talk more about the loyalty to the organization.
Yeah, again, it comes from the manager, right? He always wanted us to be. We were taught that way. He talked to us about it, you know, that to be loyal, what it means. And on the other hand, I don't know if it was true, because when you see him, you know, next day he trades someone. So I don't know. Yeah. But that didn't happen to me, and I was lucky because I had one chance, you know, to make a decision to go to a different team, and
let's talk about that. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to talk about it. I almost end up here in Manhattan, our biggest rival. But I'm glad I didn't, because obviously last night would have happened if I had made a decision differently in 12 years ago. But you know, it's all about a personalities. It's all about that person. When some of the tough decisions are on the line, if he makes the right decision, and you never know if it's the right one. You just gotta trust yourself that you did make the right decision, and just live with the consequences. But I truly do believe I did make the right decision, and a lot of it was based on the loyalty, because I felt that at the last second when I almost did sign, make that change, I felt like I needed to make that final phone call to the manager, and I'm happy that I did, because I did finish my career and played my whole career for one team. For such a small country, not to have the biggest mountains in our country, not at all, but to have such a talented people, you know, we're very proud of them, and it's amazing. So.
Spent 20 years in the NHL, which is quite a rough league, I have to say. It's not European hockey. It's and hockey is, you lose a lot of teeth in it. Anyway, among other things. Anyway, and how do you explain your longevity in this very tough sport?
Well, as I mentioned before, I was, and I said it yesterday when I had during the speech. The hockey, the league has changed tremendously. When I came in here in 1995, the league was played differently. There were a lot of big guys, strong guys, but not too smart and not as skilled as me. So I try to use my smarts and you know, to make my mark in NHL. And it took a few years, no question about it. It wasn't just so easy, and you know, I wasn't the biggest talent, but as I said before, that with the work ethic and whatever my parents and some of the coaches in the young years taught me, that I really took care of myself well. You realize that you cannot eat cheesecake every night before the game pretty quickly, because you won't be here in the league for that long. So you start eating right, taking care of yourself, and I did that more than some of the other guys, and I think that's why I stayed around for that long. I really took care of my body, and luckily the body took care of me for that long. Within a year, within a few months, how things can change in your life. You go from the worst to one of the best, and it kind of shows you that if you go through a rough time, you just gotta believe in that it's gonna get better. Put your head down, work as hard as you can, and sometimes the things above us, there's something above you that really is looking down on you, and things happen for a reason, and that's the way to go.
Sickness also brought another thing to you through your wife Petra, who introduced you to the director of UNICEF. And since then you've been working with them either more actively or less actively, but you've already been to Belize where you made the documentary with the NHL, and I've heard that you might be planning a trip to Rwanda. How is that working right now? How is it going to be working in the future? What is in the plans?
It's a privilege. You realize that it's a privilege for us to be part of the National Hockey League, and the great thing about it is they don't just teach you how to be a good hockey player or professional, but it sets a platform for the rest of your life for you. And one of the great things is you can become a role model and you can do different things, which is be part of charities. And if you would guys look into a lot of the NHL players, there's probably 750 players in the league, and I bet there's 500 guys that are involved in any kind of charity. So the National Hockey Leagues make sure that we do know what's important in life, that we're the fortunate ones, and that we do give back. And with me, it was no different. Obviously, with the sickness, when I started getting better, and I met my wife, you know, she had, as you mentioned, she had the director of Czech UNICEF, and they had a program for vaccines. And obviously, if I was vaccinated for the hepatitis, I wouldn't get sick. And it kind of felt a perfect relationship, perfect moment for me to start working with them. And it was just for a couple of years, I was just part of it, helping out. And then 2 years later, they came to me and gave me the opportunity to become ambassador for Czech, for UNICEF in Czech Republic, which is a great honor. But it was a little difficult to work with them on, you know, large scale, because I was still here for 10 months, 9 months out of the year in the US. So we were working on some of the programs, some exhibition games, and trying to raise money, raise awareness. And the best thing was that we did make that trip to Belize, and it was unreal. It was eye-opening, and it was tough at the moment to see that I was on a plane and maybe 200 people and 180 of them were going there for vacation. You know, I'm like, so where are we going? How come we're going to the same place? But you go into the heart of the Belize and you go 5-6 hours into the inland, you see the you know, the people, the way they live there, and a couple of the programs that the Czech UNICEF invested for them to be able to have fresh water and toilets, etc. Just the basic stuff, and how much of a difference it makes for them. It's rewarding that you can be part of it, and I'm looking forward to that trip to Rwanda, because we're planning on it. They've been planning on it with me for the last 2-3 years, but wasn't able to do it. But now that I have all kinds of time on my hands, we are gonna do it, and I can't wait for it.
I'm going to ask the question in Slovak, which is very close to Czech. Aké je to krásne byť otcom alebo mávkou takej úspešnej športovej rodiny, keď ste sa dožili takého krásneho úspechu? Môžu ľudia čo povedať?
Áno, máš odpovedať.
English, omlouvám se ještě jednou. A abych odpověděl na otázku, je to hrozně těžké. Takovým si tátou takového syna, protože zkrátka jemu už nemůžete skoro nic jako vytknout. Nemůžete ničím moc poradit. Rodiče pořád chtějí to svoje dítě, i když bude dítě 50 leté, tak bude stejně, rodiče budou chtět občas poradit, občas pohladit, občas normálně i vynadat, jak se u nás říká. Ale zkrátka některým lidem v těchto letech už to nejde, no. Protože jsou zkrátka o trošku vejší jak táta, no.
Výškově, jo. Máma nechce, máma tady.
First of all, thank you for coming. Then it's absolutely well deserved. The people that been talking about you being a class act, I mean, it's all true, and we really appreciate it. And me being Czech, I know that I can and am using you as an inspiration for young kids that are trying to attain to something. So thank you for that, and best of luck with your next steps.
Thank you so much.
Patrik is a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF, and just so everybody knows, everything that is raised tonight between the two auctions, between Eva Pfeiffer's dress as well as Patrik's hockey kind of bouquet, so to speak, 100% of the proceeds will go to UNICEF. It's a piece of history here, a piece of Patrik Eliáš's career, but $47.50. I'll throw it up to 5,000, see if anybody bites. If not, it's wow, 5,000. All right, this is getting heated. This is like a Rangers Devils game. You know, come playoff time, we're getting edgy in the corners. 5,200. Anyone? 5,200 to Martin. Good job. I'll buy you a shot after this. I like your poise. 5,400. Damn, he's good. 5,400. 55. Gentleman in the balcony again, $5,500. That's my mortgage payment. I mean, congratulations, man. 5,600. Anyone? 56. Unbelievable. 5,750. Wow. 6,000. We've broken 6,000. Martin, without hesitation. Bravo. Bravo. Wow. Hedge fund guy, or just checking, you know. 6,200 going once, 6,200 going twice. Sold 6,000 to you, Martin. Congratulations. Great job. So right now, Patrik is going to sign plans memorabilia for you. There's a certificate of authenticity as well as for the dress.
Tomáš is not playing. Where's he?
Vypadá jak na svatbě.
Okay, so the finals, the photo is coming and the proceeds goes to UNICEF Czech Republic. Thank you all, thank you for coming.